music and stuff, comes on, and so you and I are sitting here going like that
Oh, and
to
they
the
can't hear
bumper.
it?
They can't hear it,
Okay.
and she goes, "Y'all look like synchronous bobbleheads in synchrony or something like that." She said, "I started to, not say anything because it really is kind of entertaining because all of a sudden y'all are sitting there in synchrony, bobbling your heads." So, if you want to, if
We need
that's,
to have some bobbleheads made of us. That'd be
that's right.
fun around here. Let 'em
Are we
go.
going to do Rotunda from 10:15 to 10:30? Whoops, I got to change the date on that. Yes. Yeah, or I will anyway.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
February, what is the date? The 9th? 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
30 seconds.
Brought to you by Ameritex Flags and Flagpoles, helping freedom fly. AmeritexFlags.com. With an overcast sky this morning, we'll have some areas of drizzle from time to time. Today's high in the upper 60s in Kerrville and Ingram. Mostly cloudy overnight with patchy drizzle towards morning. Low in the low 50s. Light rain and drizzle will continue on Tuesday. It'll be a bit warmer with a high 78, 72 with thunderstorms Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dan Holiday. The Hill Country Patriot.
He's a native Texan, president of the Fredericksburg Tea Party, a student of Ben Franklin and John Locke. And he's a Christian conservative political activist. He's a true believer in the principles that this country was founded upon, and comes to you every day to guide, advise, and lead you to become involved in the greatest political experiment in the history of our planet, self-governance. We don't know the game. He's Matt Long, and this is the Matt Long Show.
Good morning, folks. So happy to be here with you on the morning after the Super Bowl. I don't know, with all the, I think this is one of the days that has the most absentee.
Is that right?
Employee absentee in every year. I don't know if that would be true for today after, after yesterday's horrible game. I do know that I ate, usually of course, I don't drink alcohol, but I do love good food, and so I usually have a food hangover on the Monday after the Super Bowl, but I was real good this year, so none of that. By the way, welcome to the studio this morning, Angela Smith, the founder of the Fredericksburg Tea Party. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Matt.
So did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, I did not.
I knew the answer to that question. I'm told you're not supposed to ask questions you don't already know the answer to. Yeah, Angela does not watch football. She is she doesn't like the what was that text you sent me yesterday? Something.
All right. Do you really want to know?
Yes. Oh yeah. I wouldn't have asked you because I know the answer to that too. You
All right.
said can't. It was a waste of time. Is that fuzz coming across? And we don't know.
I don't know.
All right. By the way, we are live on our YouTube channel as we do every Monday. Right now we have, it's a donut that is watching us. Find that kind of interesting. There is, yeah, that's a 0 up there. So anyway, you want to watch us on YouTube, go to your YouTube channel and search for Fredericksburg Tea Party TX. And that's where you'll find us on YouTube. So what was it you sent me yesterday?
All right, Matt. This is where I'm coming from. I said I've boycotted the NFL. I'm done with those BLM lovers and halftime porn stars.
That's right,
what I
halftime
said.
porn stars. There were, it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. There's a lot of people that way, and but I've explained my position on the NFL a number of times. NFL is absolutely, seriously, honestly one of the true pleasures in life. Some people that's fishing, for some people that's whatever it is. NFL has been it just gives me pleasure. I love it. I enjoy it, and so I have not been into the boycott the NFL, and my stand is that a handful of idiots who decided to kneel we're not going to take my pleasure away. But I respect everyone's opinion on that. And I know a lot of people are not watching it. So that's where I'm coming from. But we did have good food. And I always try to experiment with something new. We bought an air fryer over the weekend. Do you have
Oh,
an air fryer?
Cool. Well, my son does actually.
It's kind of
It's
fun.
very cool.
Yeah, I tried the first thing I tried early in the afternoon were fried pickles, and I burnt the first batch, and but then I had it figured out, and the second batch of fried pickles wasn't too bad. But then the piece de la résistance for the game time was waffles and fried chicken. Oh my goodness.
Well,
It was good, and we had some Aunt Jemima syrup on top of it. I thought they'd gotten rid of that Aunt Jemima, but she's still there. We must have had an old bottle
maybe.
or
Yeah.
something, but Aunt Jemima's still on there. Oh man, I'm telling you what, it did do the fried chicken up. I need to find a better batter, but it was not as crunchy as I like it. But boy, was it moist and no mess, no fuss. Even cleaner than, if you bake your fried chicken in the oven, or if you do it and shorten it in a cast iron skillet, which I like to do. But of course, man, that's a mess. That's a mess, but it tastes so good. So that was my experiment yesterday with food, and it was real good, and I didn't go overboard. So we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about why we're here. We're here because we want to get you involved in the process of self-governance. And today we're going to be going through a number of ways you can get involved in the process of self-governance. And first of all, Thursday night, Angela, would you tell us about the Thursday night meeting this week? It's an annual, we do this same meeting every year on Valentine's Day. Tell us about it.
I have if you're on YouTube today, I have my t-shirt on.
There you go.
Gun Owners of America will be joining us for our Guns and Roses annual February meeting. And we have so much fun with that, primarily because Rachel Malone with GOA is incredible. She is a very, she's quite the marksman. She has been advocating for gun rights for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And Gun Owners of America has turned out to be the organization that's boots on the ground in Texas. And the other organizations we just don't really see that much of. But when you and I are gone to the committee hearings, GOA is in their face when it comes to red flag and any other nefarious laws that they may be trying to pass to impede our gun rights. So Rachel Malone is so much fun. We're going to be there on Thursday night at St. Joseph's Hall, 6:30 to 8. Come early for dinner. The ladies will be getting a rose, and the men will get chocolate cake.
Yeah, chocolate cake.
My favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So if a guy comes through the door and he doesn't want his chocolate cake, I'm going to snag that one.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's no worries getting rid of chocolate cake, even if I have to take it home or share it with my friends.
I know. Because the deal is, Matt's making the chocolate cake.
Yes.
So this is homemade chocolate cake. It isn't any frozen,
no box.
Boxed from the store stuff. This is the real deal. So
from scratch with buttermilk.
Yeah, and this, Matt, is our most attended meeting of the year.
Yes, it is.
People that live in the Hill Country love to talk Second Amendment, talk about firearms safety, talk about their right to carry, all of that. And as you know, Representative Kyle Biederman has filed that awesome bill. I'm not sure exactly how what the wording is on that, but basically it's constitutional carry. And it is time, folks, for Texas to have constitutional carry. We are so behind on this deal. We are way behind on it. I don't know how many states out there already have it, but it is quite a few.
Yeah, it is. And now with the what looks like federal overreach, there's already bills coming out of the House in Washington that want us to do crazy things like register your bullets. Everything.
Yeah.
Undergo a psych evaluation, have interviews with not only your family, but your current family, but your ex-family. however that goes, psych
Wow.
evaluation. I mean, it is
Insane.
insane. Now, what are the chances of that stuff coming out of Washington? I would say pretty high right now.
Yeah.
You know, in the past we've seen those crazy bills, and it's like, yeah, right, they're never going to get them through. And I think this session there's a pretty good chance
Anything could happen.
anything could happen. So it's even more important that you get involved in the process
Yes.
of self-governance.
Yes.
Even way more
Yes.
important, because we've got to save Texas,
Yes.
and that is that's where we're at. And yeah, we've
And
got
that there's plenty of bad bills that have been filed in Texas, in
Mhm.
Austin right now. They're sitting there waiting to be heard in committee. So we're going to be down there fighting those things through our focus group and Mike Belsick, because believe me, the Democrats in the state of Texas have come out with their own version of Washington right here.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was about to mention that the other cool thing about this, our annual Guns N' Roses meeting this Thursday night at St. Joseph's Hall at 6 o'clock for dinner, is that 2 years ago in the last session, we didn't officially have a focus group for the Second Amendment.
Right.
Mike Belsick was kind of leading the charge on that, and had his group of, what did we call them, diehards. The diehards. There were 3 or 4 men that went up with Michael Belsick, and they testified. Well, they've now formalized their group. They're one of they're our fastest growing, probably, I hate to say, most productive focus group that we have in the Fredericksburg Tea Party. So you're going to be able to get a really good focus on what we're doing.
Right.
Folks, we need to take a short break. Let's see. I'm going to pull up a random. Poor Richard. I'm trying to be random now. I'm studying them. Let's see. Here we go. He is that. Oh yeah, he's a fool that makes his doctor his heir. He's a fool that makes his doctor his heir. There you go, Ben. That one's a kind of an obvious one. Thank you, Poor Richard, from 1733. Folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk to you about going to the Capitol tomorrow.
If you love the refreshing taste of good water, but hate hauling heavy bottles to get it, the Bosworth Company has the answer. Rent a reverse osmosis system.
Hi, friends out there in
and enjoy water that's
YouTube land.
99% free.
Glad to have you on there with us this morning. Hi, Mom. I'm assuming that's Mom. Mom loves watching it on her TV. It's so much easier. I get it, Mom. I have to have glasses to watch it on my phone, so I'm with you on there. But you know, if I can get the Matt Long Show with special guest Angela Smith onto my big screen TV, life couldn't get any better.
Well, I am really excited about our Thursday meeting.
Oh yeah,
Fun.
it is. It is
It's gonna be a lot of
fun.
fun. It's so much fun. Rachel is so great. We don't get to talk about it quite as much on the when we're on radio on air, but
30 seconds.
if y'all are out there, make sure you make it to that meeting. It is so much fun, and you'll get to meet Michael Belsick, who's leading the charge with our focus group on Second Amendment issues. He would love to meet you and talk with you and get you on his email list. So,
Yeah.
be there.
Oh man, I thought I got my lozenge down, but I didn't.
Please go to www.thehumanismresearch.org. Select donate. Please do it now. Thank you.
All right, folks, welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you'll see on our screen a capital tip, and I will, that's the bonus for watching us on YouTube. And the capital tip I have up now is do not ask if you need to be tested for the Kung flu. I'm talking about up at the Capitol. Just walk straight up to the entrance and walk in. It is voluntary. The testing is voluntary, But if you walk around to the north entrance and you look around like a looky-loo and you're not sure where to go or what to do, and you ask somebody for questions, they're just going to tell you, yeah, you need to go over there and get in line and be tested for the Chinese Wuhan virus. Around here, we very seriously call it the Kung Flu. Doris and Don and Doris are watching us on YouTube this morning. Thank you, Don and Doris. We appreciate that. And Doris is one of our hall walkers up at the Capitol, and helps us quite a bit. She's been going to the Capitol with us. This is probably the third session she's
That's
been
right.
going with us. So let's talk about the going to the Capitol tomorrow. Tomorrow is kind of exciting because
We are collaborating with a group called Grassroots Gold. And they have been, the leaders of this group have been working tirelessly for years now in Texas at the Capitol during the session. And we are hoping to not only network with them, meet other people that we might not necessarily come across, but also pick up some tips from them on how to be more effective in Austin. So I am really excited to meet Tamara and Paul there. They have a statewide network, so they've already invited a lot of people to come up to meet with them. So we get to meet all those people.
that's
And
what's real
really
fun.
neat.
That's what we've been mentioning the last the last 2 weeks. We've been at the Capitol on Tuesdays. The place has been all but empty. I mean, empty. I mean, literally empty. And one of the things that Paul and Tamara said weeks ago, they've been going on Wednesdays. Is that right? Because of their schedule.
Yes, I believe so.
So Paul and Tamara have been going on Wednesdays, and so we haven't been meeting them, haven't been running into them. But one of their things they were saying is that this is the incredibly perfect opportunity to get into offices.
Yes.
And last Tuesday, to give you an idea of what we did, Kyle Biederman had just filed House Bill 1359, the Texit question, the referendum to get the citizens of Texas just to voice their opinion. Should Texas consider leaving the Union? And so he had some press release, essentially is what it was a one-pager. And so our guys split up and went and handed these out in different offices.
That's right.
And what were some of the things they said after they did that? Remember, Angela, we saw them back at lunch.
Yes, yeah. Well, they said they had first of all, they had a great time doing it because they got to talk to people and meet people that they didn't know. And so not only did they get to do that, but they also get to learn how to just get around in the Capitol, because you just have to do it. It's experiential. I can't tell you how it's going to feel for you or how it's going to go for you. It's just get up there, have a task, if you will, and just learn how to go to these different offices, and you find out who is
the ledge director.
Yeah, you meet the ledge director, you meet the
receptionist.
You meet
the receptionist is an important person to get to know. Because they are they're the front lines. They defend the office.
Yes. And you need to know them by name.
Yes. So
you need to know them by name. So when
you walk into Kyle Biederman's office, it's Maddie. That's her name.
Yes, and you need to say hi to her.
Hi, Maddie. How are you? Is so and so here?
Yes.
And so that's important. But you need to get to know those. By the way. This is not a tip. I haven't put this one up yet. I got another one right now. Says dress for a business meeting. Don't take homemade food up to the Capitol offices. It's just not a good idea. We were told that years ago. You'd think it'd be nice to take a batch of chocolate chip cookies up to Kyle Biederman's office or burritos or something. It's not a good idea. It won't get you anywhere, and lots of times people are about nervous. If you make a batch of chocolate chip cookies, just send them to me. I will take them off your hands. So this is an opportunity tomorrow to network with Paul and Tamara,
Yes.
and they have years of experience,
Yes,
and
they
so
do.
we can learn from them, and also use their connections. If we know someone in a certain office that they haven't met yet, we walk in with them and say,
Right.
hey, we would like to introduce you to this is Bob and Tamara. They're trustworthy, good people. Want to introduce you. They can do the same for us.
Right.
And so that is the really neat thing, networking with them. They are, let's see what I'm about to say. They are part of they're really focused on the Republican priorities. Republican
are.
priorities. That's their focus. As is our focus. We're looking at some other bills as well.
Sure we are.
And so. But going up on Tuesdays, I want to reiterate that when it comes time to, let's say you made the commitment, I'm going to go testify. By golly, when it comes that transgendered hearing, I want to be up there and testify. Because Matt and Angela said they were outnumbered 400 to 11 last time we went there.
Right.
So we're going to go up and support Matt and Angela when they go testify on these bills. If you just wait until time to testify and you walk up there, you're going to be disoriented. I
Right.
don't know how to say that
Right.
without being nice. The grounds are huge. You need to find out. You need to spend some time up there. And I'm telling you, this year, what an opportunity, because the halls are so empty
Yes.
that you really can. It's really easy to find the bathrooms. It's really easy to figure out your way around, and there's not a sea of people bustling, jostling and bumping you. And we don't have all the, when all the school groups go up there, I mean, you can smell a busload of seventh graders, 2 blocks away when they
Right.
show up. And so it is just what an opportunity to go up there and even enjoy some of the sights in the Capitol, because you're not being jostled and pushed around
Mhm.
by crowds of people. So you do not have to be tested to get in the building. You're supposed to wear a mask in the building. We get conflicting orders on that all the time.
All the time.
They're
Yeah.
asking you to. There is no order to. There
Right.
is no legal requirement to. I really, it was interesting. I'm not. I was against wearing the mask just because someone was telling me to. My mom can testify to that. That the way to get me not to do something is
Just to
tell
ask you to do it.
tell me that
Tell
I
me you
have to do it. Force me to have to do it. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm not even touching it. And so that was at first, but then there were a couple of times last week I put on a mask to go into an office, and it was a small office, and there were about 6 or 7 of us in there. And within seconds of getting in there, I started feeling claustrophobic. I mean,
Yeah.
I got really hot real fast, and it was unbearable heat. I finally introduced everybody and I left, and I was not expecting that. I wanted to stick around, and it really surprised me. And then when I met y'all in the hall afterwards, I asked you, man, it was hot in there, and nobody else was hot in that room.
No, we weren't. Now I almost get claustrophobic too, because I never wear a mask like that, and I think that's the longest that I had ever worn one. Was that we sat in there for 30 minutes? We were in there for
Yeah.
30 minutes, and that was Senator Dawn Buckingham's office. Interestingly enough, you can go into a lot of other senators' offices. Kyle's
Bob Hall,
office, Bob
Senator Hall.
Yeah, Senator Hall. No mask wearing is required,
Mhm.
but we had an appointment, and not only did they require us to wear it in the door, we sat down and had to have a 30-minute discussion with masks on.
All with masks
All
on.
of us.
And it was when
interesting.
when I walked up there, I didn't knock on the door. You don't have to knock on the door, by the way. I just say that you just go to those offices and you open the door. And I kind of opened the door quickly and took a look around in there. And the 2 people that could see me from the door did not have their masks on,
Okay.
but were immediately scrambling to put them
yeah,
on.
yeah, it's so phony.
It is.
It's phony.
It's phony. It is some kind of signal that we're better, we're good, I don't know what
Smarter.
it is. Yeah, it is.
More safe. I don't know.
And so I couldn't help myself. I try to control my smart aleck responses. So she's whipping her mask on and said, well, you'll all need to wear masks. And I said, you mean just like you were when I opened the door? and
Right.
stepped back out, not waiting for a reply. But it's just so angering. And when you walk up to Senator Hall's office and other offices, there's a sign on the door in front of Senator Hall's office. He's got some lotion out there, some hand sanitizer,
right.
and a little sign that says, "Hey, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, whatever you want to do, come on in. Everybody is welcome. We just ask that you sanitize your hands." I had no problem doing that.
No. I mean,
But
there is no, yeah, you have no problem. You've had your hands on every door handle in there and
Yeah.
exchanged money and put your hands on tables that everybody sat on and the whole thing, and chairs, everything. So
Forget the
that's
Kung
a
Flu.
no-brainer.
Yeah, forget the Kung Flu. That was
Just
just kind of smart up
right.
there in
It
a
is
public
smart.
building.
Yeah.
So I put the sanitizer on my hands and I'm walking in the door, rubbing it in, and he had a brand new receptionist who could not jump up and put his hand out to shake my hand and welcome me to the office.
Right.
I mean, these guys, he was a rookie on the job, and he was going to do his job. He was going to be so friendly, and I'm standing there with this stuff dripping, practically dripping off of my hands. And what was his name? Miles Ray in Senator Hall's office. Great young man. Make sure you meet him when you go up to Senator Hall's office, and he's there. Oh, welcome. Welcome to Senator Hall's office, and he's got his hand out, and I'm still dripping, and so we finally bumped fists just because I had a handful of goo,
Yeah.
but I think I maybe over-applied, so there you go. But those are some of the experiences we had last week up at the Capitol, and folks, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. All right, I think we should go into how important numbers count. I talked about that on Friday, that they do make a difference. Numbers make a difference. And then we can then segue into city as well. Numbers also count at the city.
Her department is applying for a grant to fund the hire of that new assistant criminal district attorney.
Got 5 of you out there. Thank you very much for tuning in on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Look around. If you're a city resident, we posted 5 new videos last night. They're short. We're going to use them in upcoming newsletters as we're talking about and exposing some of the behavior of the city council. And so if you want to take a look, just randomly grab one of those 5 videos I posted last night. I think the longest one is 4 minutes.
Right. They're very short and easy to watch.
And you might be very surprised at the behavior of your city council if you live in Fredericksburg. And if you don't live in Fredericksburg and have dealt with city council members, take a look at them. Let us know. Leave a comment. Tell us, is this the same thing you get in your city, or are we just unique in Fredericksburg that we have that kind of behavior out of our city council? So I would encourage you to take a look at those. There's some interesting clips. Jet Burns has put those up for
Helped
us.
us with that, yes, has helped us with that. So we'll have a couple of those in our newsletter today. So we'll focus on a couple of those, and but you can see all of them on that YouTube channel. And oh, by the way, I was also going to say at our Thursday night meeting, our newest focus group, Border Security, the leader will be there, and he's going to give about a 3-minute update on what's going on at the border.
Oh, good.
I think
Good.
that's going to be real interesting. So we're going to just highlight that group. We've got 6 groups now,
30 seconds.
so it's hard to highlight every one of them, but we're going to highlight one, I think.
Okay.
Country's full-service Mahindra tractor dealership in Bandera. ValcoTractors.com. With an overcast sky this morning, we will have some areas of drizzle from time to time. Today's high in the upper 60s in Kerrville and Ingram. Mostly cloudy overnight with patchy drizzle towards morning. Our low in the low 50s. Light rain and drizzle will continue on Tuesday. It'll be a bit warmer with a high 78. 72 with thunderstorms Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Dan Holiday. The Hill Country Patriot.
All right, folks, we are back. Welcome back to the Matt Long Show. I have a special guest every Monday now, and this has really been fun. I have Angela Smith, who is the founder of the Fredericksburg Tea Party, who just kind of casually threw out there in 2009 that she might want to be involved in some kind of tea
Yes.
party event.
Very casual.
Very casual, like I'll help someone. And she ended up forming the Fredericksburg Tea Party. And here she is 13 years later. We're going to talk about that here towards the end of the show. But tell us, Angela, talk to us about the importance of numbers at the Capitol. I talked about it on Friday.
Well, Matt, for the grassroots, it is all about numbers. Because you and I are not writing big checks, staying home, having our coffee, mailing the check off, and we're done, right?
Right.
We're not doing that. So we have to spend some time up there, and the numbers count. When they see the same 3 people every single time, they figure out, or they think at least, there's 3 people that are concerned.
That's right.
But if those same 3 people bring 3 people, and those people bring 3 people, and all we've got 10 people
Right.
coming up to an office, I don't know if you've noticed, but when they see those 10 people standing outside the door, they're like, what? Hold on just a minute. And they kind of stutter and stammer a little bit, and then they're very good to make accommodations for us normally.
Right.
But they aren't used to that.
They're not.
And they need to see that, and they need to see a different 10 people, and then they need to see 20 people, and then they need to have the phone calls, and then they need to have the emails. So numbers matter when we were talking about the grassroots, and the grassroots is so rich in that you get to be around the people that are like-minded, and y'all are working on something together. And there's nothing more rewarding than
enriching.
that. And it is. It's so rewarding on so many levels, because now it's not just about the issue. It's about working together. It's about calling each other and making a plan together. And it's about seeing something come to fruition together. So it's a lot more fun together than it is all by yourself in your office, tapping out a letter to whoever, your senator, especially during this session. It's a lot more fun to be together than to just be by yourself. And you make lifelong friends this way.
You absolutely will. And if you feel alone, if you feel like am I the only one person that really thinks this way?
Yeah.
And sometimes we get that way. You look around and you see everything that's happening, and you look at the national level, or bless your heart if you're still looking at Twitter or Facebook, and you think like, man, I am a complete outcast. 99.9% of the world thinks this way. I'm the only person out there that thinks this way. And when you get involved in the grassroots, you find out you're not. You're not alone at all. And so that is fun. And the numbers, and like Angela said, sometimes we go in a large group. I think sometimes it's better to not take 20 people to the door of a senator's office. But if you spread out during the day, and if you have different groups going in, and different people walking in all in one day or 2 days in a row, and saying, where are y'all standing on House Bill 1359 or Senate Bill XYZ? And after the 3rd or 4th or 5th person, or even the 10th or 12th or 15th person in 2 or 3 days that walks in the office and asks about that bill, then first of all, they remember the bill number.
Yes.
Right? Because it just got repeated over and over and over to them. And they really they said, this is a movement. This is a movement.
Exactly.
There's something going on here, and there's some power behind it, and that is so important. I can't tell you how important that is. And if you bring a statement, I don't know, just thought of this. If you bring a letter from your organization back home, whether it be your precinct or your GOP or your Patriot group or whatever, if you come with a letter that is signed by 15 people, or a letter that is, this letter speaks for all of the Hill Country Patriots, or the whatever group, and you bring that and deliver it in, they see that makes an impact.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So that's what we do a lot of times as the session progresses. Let's just take 1359. Fredericksburg Tea Party will probably take a letter that says we support and want you to vote for this when it comes to the floor, and we'll drop that letter off at every House member's office.
That is unlocked. The Democrats seem to
Yeah.
have their doors locked. I think they're
Now
going to
they're
be.
scared.
Yeah, they're afraid. They're scaredy cats.
Well, they're scared.
They are.
They're just scared of nothing.
So let's take this idea of numbers now. Let's go to the city level. Fredericksburg, there has been an organic, and I kid you not, organic grassroots uprising
Yes.
of citizens who we've never seen involved at a local level. And all of a sudden just came out of nowhere in early December. It was
Yes.
just one of those God things that there were 3 different groups of people who decided that they were going to go to the city council meeting on December 1st, and there was no coordination. I mean, very little to no coordination on
Right.
that.
Right.
There was one entire group of friends that didn't even know the other groups were going, and so we all showed up. So there has been this organic uprising out of the city of Fredericksburg, and it had a lot of steam at the beginning. It's started to die down a little bit, the steam on that. It's real important, folks, if you've been going to the citizens meetups that take place at the same time as the city council meetups, that you continue in that. We have, and it's the same way with the city. The more emails, the more phone calls, the more people that sign up to testify, and not just the same screaming meanies that have always been there, and they see, when they see new faces and different faces and younger faces,
Right.
they think, oh my goodness, what is going on here?
Well, it's a lot more fun at our citizens meetup than it is a regular city council meeting.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly, I wish we could. In a way, I wish we always had those because it's so much more fun. We have it over at Crossroads Steakhouse, and we watch the city council on this huge screen because they're all up there doing their Zoom thing, and it really is fun.
And you know, I guess since we're not there in person, see, if we were all in the room and we all started giggling at any city council member because of the way they were saying or what they just said,
Right.
we would be considered rude
Yes, we
and
would.
disrespectful, and maybe even asked to leave the room. But when we're all together over at Crossroads and they can't hear us or see us down at the city council, and we start cracking up laughing, or it's amazing how many people start yelling. They'll hear one statement, and
Yes.
everybody in the room knows the truth, and there's no coordination whatsoever. All of a sudden, people are going, ah, la, 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 la.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely, we're actually
It is
having a
fun.
blast.
Yes.
Out of that, as well, has come some candidates to
That's
run for
correct.
city council.
Yes, and I am very excited about that. We have 2 seats coming up on City Council in Fredericksburg, and we need to fill those seats with people who understand the proper role of government, who understand the Constitution, who understand less control of government and more power to the people.
So you're telling me that the U.S. Constitution applies at the city level, Angela
I am
Smith?
saying that. Yes,
Oh,
Matt.
you radical, you radical. It does. The U.S. Constitution applies at the city level. It's amazing. And the same philosophies, the same ideas, the same pillars, principles, truths, whatever you want to call them, that the basis of this country, that this country was founded on, apply at the city level. We need the numbers at the city level. We need you involved.
Yes.
I think, and I can't talk about this publicly, I have some secret information that they may be going back to a semi-public meeting. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything official, but I've been hearing rumors, and that's all they are. So we may be making a difference. And we made that difference because we're there. We're signing up to testify
Yes.
during the Zoom
Yes.
meetings. In fact, one of the 5 recordings we have up on YouTube that I posted yesterday evening is one of the city council members saying, "Do we have to listen to the citizens' input?"
It's
Seriously.
was in shock. I guess I was. I just didn't think that, I need to say this, I guess I thought that our city council members took the job more seriously and that they had respect for the citizens of Fredericksburg. That statement alone defines how they feel about their citizens, the residents, the people that voted for them, the people they say they wanted to serve. Now, I don't know if any of them ever actually said they wanted to serve anyone, to be honest with you. When you think about it,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not sure why they're running, and why they're spending time in office like this, but that's what they should be doing. And the city of Fredericksburg needs to wake up to the fact that people actually live there. We're not all tourists. It's not everybody there is a tourist.
That's right.
And we love the tourist. We do love the tourists. We love the business. I've always loved it. Ever since I moved there, I just thought it was such a great industry. But there are people that actually live there that are having to live under mandates and emergencies that are not, by definition, emergencies any longer. And there are people that are having to continue to live under these mandates that should have been removed already. Except, as we found out last time, they're not being removed because of the money.
They don't want to lose the money.
That's right. They know that they don't have an emergency. They know that they could easily remove the local mandates.
Mm-hmm.
The state mandates would stay in place. But what happens with the state mandate, it puts the responsibility on the person. The
Right.
local mandate puts all this responsibility on business owners.
Right.
That's awful. That's awful
is.
to have to live under indefinitely. That should be removed. But what did they say, Matt?
They said, in fact, that's one of, I think, 2 of the 5 video clips
Yes.
we put up are saying that, are speaking to the fact that, well, if we get rid of that mandate, we're going to lose all the money. We're going to
State and
lose
federal
all
dollars.
the
Mhm.
state.
Well-
I believe so far they've gotten close to $700,000. And they don't want to. They want to keep shaking that money tree.
Yeah.
I guess they're not even thinking that this. There's no such thing as free money, and that money does come out of our pockets. And folks, we need to take a break. Check those videos out too. We're going to link them into upcoming newsletters.
Yes, we are.
So y'all stay tuned, and we will be right back, and we will wrap up the Matt Long Show on the Hill Country Patriot with special guest Angela Smith.
Super Bowl 55, Tampa Bay 31, Kansas City 9. The Bucs over the Chiefs.
31-9?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Championship.
At halftime, it was
MVP award and
Um,
also Tampa Bay's second Super
Like
Bowl
14?
championship.
14-6 or something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it was within 2 scores. I think it was at 11 at halftime.
Okay,
It
all
was
right.
good. Yeah. And at one point it was 21-9. So they're I keep wanting to say New England because cheating Brady. They said right after the game last night that one of the commenters said something about how what an awesome man that Tom Brady was, and how he was just, he is showing everybody how to do it. And both my wife and I, in unison, at the same time, said, except for when he cheated, except for that one time when he cheated. I know you don't follow the NFL,
Yeah,
but
I know that part. I knew
you
when
know
he-
the story
the
about
deflated football.
his overinflated balls or something like
Yeah.
that, or underinflated balls, something. So
Here we go. 20 seconds.
Someone said we did not mention the next citizen meetup meeting.
let's do
The
that.
date
Okay.
or day.
All right, we will do that then right away.
Here we go.
resourcecenter.org. Select donate. Please do it now. Thank you.
The Hill Country Patriot.
All right, folks, we are back. Thank you very much for staying tuned and for sending notes. We're getting texts both on Angela's phone and my phone.
Yeah.
What was the text you
Yeah.
just got, Angela?
Well, a friend of mine mentioned that we did not mention the day and time of the Crossroads meeting. Those happen every first and third Monday, along
Mhm.
with, we're just shadowing the city council meeting. And so we ask people to come out to the Crossroads at around 5 o'clock, and that next meeting will be on the 15th.
Of February.
Is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah, the 15th
Yeah, I think
of
so.
February. Yes, 15th of February. We ask people to get there around 5 o'clock so we can go ahead and get it set up for Zoom. People can chat, get a drink, make themselves comfortable, so that when that meeting starts at 6 with the city council, we're ready to go.
And we'll talk about that next Monday.
Yes.
Because Angela's going to come in here every Monday, and so on the first and third Mondays, we will spend more time discussing the city council meeting that night.
I'll have that info in today's email also.
In today's email.
Yes.
There you go. And if you're not signed up, go to fredericksburgteaparty.org, and on the landing page you can sign up for our weekly newsletter that goes out on Mondays. And unless there's something really important, we don't clog your emails up at all. We send out a Monday. And then on meeting week, we usually send out a special reminder on Wednesday or something like that.
And we're going to be texting on Thursday to remind people, or maybe Wednesday, to remind people of the meeting.
Oh yeah, we have a text service too.
Yes,
See?
we're going to text y'all. I've heard that people want me to text them.
Boy, isn't that convenient that we
Yes.
have a texting service?
Yes, we do.
Do you know the number off the top of your head?
599.
66599. So text the letters FTP
Yes.
to 66. Oh, look, it's right there on YouTube.
Yay.
Text alert, send the letters FTP to the number 66599.
Right.
Michael Quinn Sullivan this morning ended his write-up this morning with a Thomas Paine quote. And I'm going to tie this into a couple of questions I want to ask Angela. This quote from Thomas Paine says, "Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it." Angela, tell us about a typical week during the legislative session. Maybe even tell us about last week or this week or combination of the two. How do you spend your time? First of all, you actually have horses. You have a real life. You have to feed your horse. You have to do things in the morning with your horses, right?
Yes, morning and night and in between.
And in between.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're
that,
living, breathing organisms. They don't take care of themselves.
they're like children.
Yes.
They are.
Yes, and I also have guest houses, and so I'm very involved with my guests and take care of them also.
So if you weren't doing what you were doing, you would not be sitting around eating bonbons and watching General Hospital.
No. Someone asked me what I do for fun, and
Is that embarrassing?
I don't know. I don't know. Everything that I do, I like. I do not work at things that I don't like to do. So I don't have an 8 to 5 job that I hate every day, and I have to go find something fun to do. I love what I do almost every minute of the day. So.
Do you feel rewarded
Yes.
for what you do?
And I tell people that I tell people that. I mean, when you're doing what you love to do, that's the deal. You do feel the reward. So even though I've got my own life, my own business, which is there's a lot of labor. It's labor intensive.
Mm-hmm.
My last week, I'm just looking at my phone, Matt, and of course on Monday of last week we had that citizens meetup, and so that takes some time getting ready for that, but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, and then on Tuesday I spent all day at the Capitol, and then on Tuesday night I had a meeting with a group
in Kerrville that
so
went till
late, 9ish. I mean, it's not late, but we had to drive home that whole thing, so
yeah.
Been up at 6 and get home at 9 or 10. And then Thursday I had 2 separate meetings on Thursday. Had guests checking in. Well, no, guests had already checked in. They were at the house. Then on Friday had a little break, and then on Saturday had another meeting. And of course on Monday mornings I'm doing the radio program with you. So
and Sunday afternoons and evenings, I know because I always get suckered into this. Seemed in the no respect for the Super Bowl yesterday. I'm getting texts. They're asking me to read emails. I'm supposed to proofread this, go upload that, download this during the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. And I told Angela this morning that had it been a good game, you know, I might have turned my phone off, but it
Right.
was it got so bad by the second half. But yeah, and so Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm working on email on the Monday evening, Monday morning email, trying to get content for that. And then if there's things like what Matt's talking about, uploading videos that I'm going to need, I'm communicating. There's a lot of communication that goes on.
Yeah.
It's not just the task; it's the communication and the collaboration that takes, I think, more time than anything. So.
And people that show an interest in our group, and they may want to
Yes.
call you or
Oh,
they
yeah.
call me,
Yeah.
and it is a longer phone call, you
Yeah,
know,
oh, yeah.
or it turns into a meeting. And if someone calls us, either one of us or any member of our group, and says, "Man, I want to get involved. What are y'all doing? What do you do? What's happening?" We want to tap into that energy, and so we're not going to blow you off. We take that seriously, and
Yeah.
so we'll spend time visiting with
Oh,
you. And
yeah.
if you want to say, "Hey, meet me for coffee so we can talk about this more," we do.
Yes.
And so it ends up lots of unplanned things happen during the week. And this is we're probably working double overtime during the legislative session
Yes.
because there's a lot of coordinating that has to go on.
Yes.
You are also the coordinator for all of our focus groups.
Yes.
And the focus groups, some of them have more experience than others, and so
Sure.
they need guidance. And
Yes.
so Angela's working on, I think she sent me a letter last night that I'm supposed to proofread. I'm going to take that today and put in fact, I think I have 2 letters I'm supposed to put my name on today and get out. And so it's a tremendous amount of time. Tell me again, you're making what? You're pulling down 6 figures for this work? Is that what you're a year? Is that the pay?
No monetary pay. No monetary pay.
No monetary
But,
pay. Why in the world then do you do it?
Well, like Thomas Paine said, we have to do this to reap the blessings of freedom.
Mm.
And not for just me. It's for my progeny, and my son is that, and my daughter-in-law, and my grandson, and my niece, my nephew, kids around me, kids in church. I mean, these people are relying on us to carry the torch.
Mm.
We have to carry the torch. No one else is going to do it. We've got to do it. So that's what we're doing. We're carrying the torch, and hopefully we'll have that torch to pass on to the next generation.
So for how old is your grandson?
He is about 5 months now.
Oh my goodness! I saw pictures a while back. By the way, I do you have an official nickname yet?
Gigi.
Gigi. Oh, really? Okay. All right, Gigi. I thought Granny Smith
can
would
say
be
it.
the way to go.
Granny
I tried to suggest that, but I'm not even a family member. You know, just Granny Smith. That's what you make apple pies with, and I'm just telling you,
Full of sugar and spice
it
and
is.
everything nice.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's right, Granny Smith. So Gigi, new Granny, 5 months old. How much time do you get to spend with him?
Well, I just saw him yesterday.
Did you? Oh,
I
how
did.
fun! All
Yes.
right, good.
Try to take Sundays. I know I work on Sundays. I keep saying I'm not going to do any official business on Sundays, but so I spent some time with him yesterday before he started getting text messages from me.
Okay, all right. There we go, folks. It's been another good program. I'm going to leave you with, first of all, we need extra special prayers for Captain Kirk. My cousin Kirk I think probably had a stroke on Friday. He is the biggest Kansas City Chiefs fan that I know. He and I have gone to a bunch of Broncos Chiefs games together, including the last game Elway and Montana played against each other. Captain Kirk and I were there and enjoying the game. He was back in the hospital over the weekend. Y'all please pray for Captain Kirk. And Galatians 6:9 says, let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not grow weary. So
Right.
Pray for everybody in the Tea Party that is going to the Capitol tomorrow, and pray for Captain Kirk. See y'all tomorrow.
KRNH HD2.